I would just love to say, guys, that the fastest way to really scan anything in life is to really just pick up the experience of the video, of what you're watching, and also the audio. So if you're watching, for example, a TV show, I mean, if it's a 3-hour TV show, I mean, make sure you scan it. 3 hours. I mean, just go scan via YouTube. Scan this part and that part, and scan the 2 hours and what's happening around the 2-hour mark, and then around the 1 hour and 15 minutes, and then up to 3 hours, you scan and see what's going on throughout the whole video in terms of the sequence. Because if you're just watching me from start to finish for 3 hours, I mean, you're going to pick up something, although you'll pick up more cues scanning through my video of 3 hours. I mean, go left and go right and go middle and go side and go here and go and scarf and see my potential in a better way. I mean, never criticize me, although make sure you go and scan all the audios and scan all the videos that you can today. And that's the fastest way to speed read. And when you're doing it via video and audio, I mean, do it ×1 theory. I mean, do it ×1 and make it normal speed, and then just go and scan quickly here and there. Because what happens is, when you scan, I may watch the whole 3-hour show already within 10 minutes, while you are still up to the 10th minute of the 3-hour show. Because you don't know what's happening after 3 hours. I mean, since the film is going for 3 hours and 10 minutes, I mean, you are just up to the 10th minute. I've already scoffed out the whole scene, and I'm already going into the next video, because the next video is in a moment, although I understand that I have to move on now because I already picked up the experience really quickly about what happened and how was it and the reactions and who won. You understand? Because I already feel the video and the 3 hours in that nice beautiful scanning I did really quickly. I scoffed out in terms of I learnt more about the audio and what they sang and what happened and how they looked and how they dressed and who had turns and how did the night go within 10 minutes, while you are still yet to see that. I mean, I'm really quick about it. I mean, when you're listening to music, for example, and you go into audio, I mean, you may have a 4-minute track. I mean, by the time you're on the 1 minute, I've already finished and I've already structured the track to see how it looks, because I'm scanning it all the way through. I'm just going here and here. I'm going here and here. I'm just going really quickly to see what's at the 4 minutes and what's at 3:50 and what's at 2:54 and what's at 5 minutes. I'm really quick about scanning, because you have to be. I realize that when I do anything to read in terms of my eyes, I move my eyes around as quickly as possible. I read the room, I scan the room. I scan the room really quickly. I understand what's going on. Because when you scan something, you scan something really quickly with your eyes, you're really gonna understand the cue really quickly. You understand? And that's how you do it. I mean, when you're reading something, you're reading like this. You're going up and down with your eyes. And what you're really doing is you're going into the information and you're just really you're scanning all the information with your eyes. You're scanning what's said in the physical reading. Do you understand? Because what the title is about is your scanning method. So if you understand the title, I mean, you also understand what it's talking about. I mean, all you really do in life is make sure you're scanning everything. You scan the people around you really quickly. You suss out the area within 1 second and then you move on. You go to another area. You suss the area out, you move on. Because what you're picking up is the experience. You're picking up the experience of everything. I promise you, when you look, for example, in terms of Lewis Howes, and he has a TV show in terms of a podcast where he may invite other people in his interaction. And then you're just scanning within the interaction of his 3-hour podcast or something like that. And it may go back to the woman and then back to him. And then within that 3 hours, you're really scanning for the experience of how are they talking to each other? And what did they say and what are they talking about? And for example, when you have an audiobook, you're doing the same thing, although with a human person and where they're interacting. I mean, the best thing you can do is just scan it quickly. You're scanning it quickly to just see the words that they're saying, and you just keep on scanning. You just keep on scanning and keep on scanning until you feel you've experienced the video. I mean, it's that quick. I mean, it can be 20 minutes scanning. I mean, it can be 30 minutes. Although, you understand, sometimes it takes 10 minutes. I mean, sometimes it really never takes anything, although you're just investing some time. I mean, it's much better to watch a 3-hour video within 10 minutes because you've experienced already what they're talking about, rather than having to sit for 3 hours to watch it. I realize that when my mentors are posting any videos online into YouTube, I get up and I go straight away, even when it's a 3-hour video, because I scan it really quickly and then I read it. And I pick up 80% of the information, while those people who read it from start to finish and read 3 hours of information on that day, I mean, they pick up 10% of the information. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, I picked up 70% more. I mean, how did I do that? I scoffed out the information in a better way. I mean, to scoff out anything is to be negative, although I say in a better way. I scoffed it out in a better way, which means I just made sure to go and see from start to finish within 10 minutes. I go everywhere inside the video to see how are they interacting and what are they talking about and how are the reactions in that video. And I'm looking for an experience. I'll go this way and that way, and this way and that way, and this way and that way. And I'll go into the middle, I'll go to the left, I'll go to the right, I'll go to this point. I'll go to this point over here because it looks interesting. I'll go over here, I'll go over here, I'll go over here. And even though I skip the information, I mean, they give me some information along the way. Although what we're looking for is the in-between the lines. I mean, from 1 minute to 5 minutes to 10 minutes to 20 minutes to 3 hours to 4 hours. I mean, how did it go? I mean, are they upbeat? I mean, are they energetic within 3 hours of the video compared to how they started? Or are they down and is it boring after 3 hours? I mean, how is it? I mean, you can only do that by scanning it really quickly. You understand? So that's already an emotional cue. I mean, after 10 minutes to 3 hours, I mean, after 3 hours, you see the 10 minutes, you then go see the 3-hour session of where they came up to 3 hours of the video, and you see the energy levels and how they're really talking. I mean, are they more interested in each other or not? I realize or not. I realize that if they're not interested in each other, I realize that something is showing me a red signal over here and it's not really going good. I mean, it's probably one of the people, or it's probably, I promise you it's probably maybe even both of the people. Although, I hope that it's both the people that are giving you the best information and that they're better than yesterday, because if you are watching people who are giving you red flags, you will also be a red flag. I need you to understand that in audio and video and writing and imagery, you can scan it. I realize I go on Instagram really quickly. I realize what I do is I look at the images and I just scan it really quickly with my eyes. I don't stop to look at a beautiful woman and then press on her. I mean, I don't do that. I don't go into a photo to just look at a woman and stay there. I just really scan, I really scan quickly. I make sure that whatever I do is, I make sure to scan what I do really quickly. So when I'm looking at the images, I'm looking at all these beautiful women and then a man with big muscles and then all of this. Although, what am I picking up when I scan through thousands of images within 1 minute? I pick up the emotional cues. I pick up the experience. I pick up what are they all doing and how are they doing it. And I pick up ideas through those images. So Instagram is a beautiful way where you can go into locations of the world and you can go to Nigeria and see how Nigerian top posts are. And you can see the beautiful people there, and then you can be more attractive because you're looking at more beautiful people. You can see the most recent calendar of your area and where you are, and you can just scan, you can just keep scanning of the whole day of where you were and how was it. I mean, you can go on YouTube thumbnails and you can put, for example, some heading, and then you'll find YouTube thumbnails and you can see what they're doing in terms of that. And you can just go quickly. You understand? Because that's what you need to do, because you can also go on Google and do the same thing. And what are you really doing? You're just looking at the images to see what are they wearing, how are they? I mean, are they bringing you are they bringing you a nice experience? I mean, do you emulate some of them, or are some of them unattractive, or what are they giving you in terms of the image? And what kind of experience are you getting from that? And that's all you're doing, because the more experience you have, you'll understand is the more content you look at. You have to understand, you only ever scan through videos and audios. You don't watch it from start to finish anymore. I used to watch videos and audios, and I used to listen to music from start to finish. I mean, I used to listen to DJ sets from 1 hour in terms of it starts to 1 hour, and it starts also to 2 hours. And I used to watch 8-hour sets of music. I mean, what I do now is for an 8-hour session of music, I can really do it within 10 minutes. I mean, it's really quickly. I scan for the ideas, and what am I scanning for in the music? I'm scanning to see what is he playing in the music, and why, and how is it going from one way to another, and how is the crowd that he's playing it with? I mean, how are they reciprocating that and understanding it? And also, how am I able to replicate this in a better way so that it's unique? And also, how am I able to pick up as much as I can in terms of this nice, beautiful segment over here and change it quickly, and also make sure to learn from it and pick up the cues of how to DJ along the way. Because what you do is you go from 7 hours, you start at 7 hours, and then you go backwards, and then you go forwards, and then you go this way and that way. And yes, you may hear a sound that's one way in 5 minutes of the set, and then in the 10th minute of the set, you hear a different sound. Although you pick up different sounds, and then you understand electronic music has all these sounds, and then you pick up an experience. And then as soon as you move this audio into 10th minute, and then into 9th minute, and then into 8th minute, you pick up a different word or a different sound, and you pick up some experiences about that. You understand where I'm coming from, even though you're scanning me. Because you're not meant to read a book from start to finish. You're not meant to read audio and video start to finish. All you're really doing is scanning it really quickly. I promise you, as soon as you scan something really quickly, you then will understand why you can watch 3-hour TV shows, and you can watch the Jesus story really quickly, and what happened. Every single day, you can pick up something around audio and video. You can go on Netflix, you can watch your favorite TV shows, and something that's not violence or competition with other people is much more worth it, because if you're watching competition with other people and violence, you're not going to learn anything. And especially if you're watching pornography and naked images, you're not going to learn anything from that. I promise you, because there's nothing to learn from that. So go somewhere where people are interacting. You understand? Because that way you're going to learn something. I mean, go where the music is. I mean, go where the crowd is, to scan the crowd only, and never to be with the crowd. And you should understand that when you're with the crowd, you're just there to teach them, and then you go your own way. You don't stick with the crowd. You only go to the crowd to teach them something like Jesus, and then you go your own way. You go there to teach. You don't go there to be with them. Do you understand? Because that is called speed reading. I mean, speed reading has everything to do with image, writing, video, and audio. I mean, scan it all, please. I mean, there's no need for you to watch a 7-hour seminar from Tony Robbins. For you, what you watch is what is he saying within that 7 hours. I mean, skip to the 3-hour points. I mean, skip to the 4-hour point. I mean, skip to the 5-hour point. I mean, how's the crowd? I mean, go and realize you can scoff it out in a way that you learn from it. Do you understand? You go and skip in segments really quickly. You skip segments, and you skip segments, and you skip segments. Actually, that's what you do every single day. You make sure you're always skipping your videos and your audios, so you only find yourself scanning throughout life. I never need you to stick to people. I need you to go and scan them and go your own way, because it's not about sticking to them. I mean, it's about having the experience and really go quickly. You have to understand, the best way you can do anything in life is to scan all the audios out there and all the videos that you can, and also the images and the writing. I mean, when you're looking at a book, you only look for the interesting factor of the book. And what is it? I mean, it may have 500 table of contents. I mean, you may be interested in 2 topics only. I mean, be smart about it. I mean, then you skip the 2 topics that you're interested in, and you just read that. You don't even have to read the chapter that is the first chapter, and you don't even have to read the summary. if you're not interested. Although, I do suggest you read the chapter first, which is the first chapter, and what the book is about, and then also the summary to sum up the book, because the summary is going to give you the experience, and also the start of the book is going to tell you what it's about, and that's going to give you some experience. So please do that. And also just skip to the parts of the book that are going to give you the best interest. I mean, if you're interested in only one topic from the 500 table of contents, I mean, just go into that one topic and read that really quickly. I mean, just scan the words. I mean, you see this word over here, you see this word over here, you see this word over here, you see this word. I mean, I see how he's connecting words this way. I mean, after 3 hours, I mean, if that person's going downhill with their communication, I mean, stay away from them, please. Because you're supposed to be positive with your communication all the time. I mean, from 1 hour into talking to the 50th hour into talking, you're still meant to be positive. You're not supposed to go from good to worse. You're supposed to be going from good to even better. I hope that this video teaches you guys that you're never supposed to finish anything. You're supposed to scan it. You're supposed to realize that you're always starting something, and that's it. You're starting a new chapter in your life. And the whole chapter of this video is to make sure that you understand that each and every single time you skip an audio or video in music or audio or video, you're going to learn something about the cues of the person, how they dressed and how they reacted and what they said and what you heard and how the experience is of that moment. And the more you skip, the more you skip segments of the audio and video or writing or image, you skip it, in terms of you're just scanning it, you just really look at it. You look at it with your eyes and you just experience it quickly, and then 1 second you're off to the second hour of the video because you just skipped it from the third hour. Because then you're going to go skip from the second hour into the second hour and 30 minutes because there's something there to see. And then you're going to pick up this experience really quickly. And what this does is it brings you into the moment. I need you to understand, it brings you into the moment really quickly. And because of that, you're going to understand how to do much better. I promise you, that's what scanning is. I mean, scanning is really your way to understand that the more you scan an audio and you scan it into a certain part of the video, you just understand that you just learned something really quickly. Because as soon as you skip one audio into another audio, you picked up an idea. 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 I mean, the more you skip and skip and skip and scan and move from 1 minute to 2 minutes and 2 minutes to 3 minutes, and you do it really quickly within 1 second. Whereas within 1 second you do it. I mean, you're just pulling the toggle button and you're just skipping the video. I mean, you may skip the video 50 times within that 3 hours. You just picked up 50 ideas. I mean, those people that never skip the audio are really bored. I mean, they have to listen to everything they say. I mean, you don't have to listen to everything they say because anybody can talk forever. I mean, what you're looking for is to understand the 3 hour video within 10 minutes rather than watching it for 3 hours. I'll see you guys in the next video.